Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I wanted to answer a question that I feel like I get sometimes from friends and family, and then also sometimes on the channel. We're going to be talking about how we find campsites. You know, with dispersed camping, sometimes it's a little bit difficult because we don't always have a couple hours to get out on the trail and go searching around for campsites. Though I would say that is probably the most fun way to do it because one, you get to explore, and then two, when you find a gym, then you're way more excited about it than if you had just done a whole lot of research online beforehand because you kind of know what to expect. So I'm going to go over probably two different ways that we find campsites. One that is, you know, a little bit more straightforward and easy, and then another that takes a whole lot more research and planning. I'll be searching for a campsite to take my brother fishing this weekend. My brother's coming into town and we want to go do some camping and some fishing. So I'm going to look on a couple of websites and we're going to try and find a spot for us to go do that. So let's hop into it. All right, so first we're going to talk about the very simple way to find campsites, and that is using a site like overlanding or freecampsites.net. So these two sites are free. They are open source, I guess, so people can go in and add campsites wherever, you know, there might be free camping or propane fill stations or water fill stations. So lots of helpful stuff on here. There's all kinds of stuff. Medical, financial, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I've ever really seen any of these over here, but if you're, you know, going on a longer trip and you need to find a place to fuel up, to get some water, to get some propane, it's all super helpful stuff. Mostly I use it for finding campsites. So let's just scroll in here on Mount Hood, and we got a whole heap of campsites over here. So we actually have been camping up this road here, and it looks like somebody took the time to put a bunch of campsites in here because I have not seen these on here previously. So let's see what we got here. So lots of pretty valuable information, I'd say. Good pictures. Pretty solid spot there. The downside of using these websites, though, is probably going to have a little bit more steep competition because they're on the internet, so people know about them. So iOverlander and freecampsites.net are both pretty much the same thing. They are a database where people go in and they put in campsites. So you get the picture, right? So those are two great options if you are in a pinch and you need to find a campsite, or you know, they have obviously paid and free sites. Now, what I like to do with our trips is, you know, typically we're not going on super long trips. We're, you know, taking highways out and getting on dirt for maybe 20 to 40 miles. That's at least the most we've done up until this point. You know, I'd love to plan some bigger trips, but that's what we've done so far. If I wanted to, let's say, find a campsite in Mount Hood National Forest, or actually, you know what, let's do somewhere else because I know Mount Hood National Forest pretty well. If you're using Gaia, if you're not familiar with Gaia, you know, there's plenty of resources out there. I'll maybe link to a few explainer videos out there. They've got lots of great map layers. So layers that I use the most on Gaia are the MVUM for National Forest roads, the public lands layer, which is all this like green and yellow and stuff here, which green is National Forest, yellow is BLM, and you know, they've got a couple other like state and national lands and stuff like that. So all very useful for when you're trying to find public land to camp on. And another thing that I did that isn't included in Gaia is add the Google Maps satellite layer. So I will link to the video on how to do that. Basically, there's some links that you have to go in and do like a custom map layer. I'm not sure why Gaia doesn't support it, but it doesn't. So you can go in and put that in there. You can put Google Street View in there. And there's lots of other custom layers you can put in there. So what I do in this situation is I'll come up here to my layers. Again, I'm not going to go through like explaining Gaia. If you want to check out some videos on that, I will link them. You can turn down the opacity on the public layer or on the public lands map. And usually I put it down to about half. So I've got my base is my Google Satellite Hybrid. Then I've got MVUM over the top of that. Let's say we're going to go fishing somewhere near Bend. Let's just give it a go. Maybe we want to do some stuff on the Deschutes. So you can see I have a bunch of campsites mapped in here. I don't have a ton mapped down here though. These are all driving trails within, I guess it's Deschutes National Forest. So what I'll do is I'll scroll in real tight. And the unfortunate side of using the Google Satellite Hybrid in Gaia is that it's not as sharp as it would be on Google Maps, but it's no big deal. You know, you can kind of get the gist. So like, you know, maybe this clearing here might be a campsite. Kind of scroll around. And I just picked kind of a random area here. So maybe let's back out and let's look near some rivers or some water. So another great thing about using the Google Satellite is it'll give you campgrounds. So, you know, typically I don't love to camp around, dispersed camp around a campground because it's, you know, there's not usually a whole lot of options. And you also are not allowed to camp, I think like a mile or 2 or 3 from an established campground. So I typically avoid those areas. So here we go. This might be a little promising. What do we got going on down here? Yeah. So this is 100% a campsite right here. And for the purposes of this weekend's trip, I'm really looking to find some sources of water that are kind of coming into each other. So like this little creek is running into this river. What river is this? Oh, this is a reservoir. Oh, interesting. Well, regardless, we're going to bookmark it. So I'll come over here, click a waypoint, and say potential campsite on reservoir. And then I'll note, you know, possible fishing spot. So typically what I'll do this for, you know, 30 minutes or so and just kind of zoom around, zoom out, zoom back in and see if there's anything that looks interesting or, you know, maybe like, oh, look, this is definitely probably a cool little spot. These are some lava beds. So this clearly is a highway that goes around the lava bed. So let's go scooting around in here. What is this? See. Kind of difficult to see. So sometimes if it's difficult to see, I will go to maps.ogle.com. And then I'll I'll click here, and then I will copy the coordinates if I can get them. Oh, come on, there we go. Copy the coordinates, and I'll go and I'll paste them into Google, hit enter, and then switch over to satellite view. How do I do that? Where's that thing at? Oh my gosh, there we go. Layers, satellite. All right, so, oh, clearly this is, used to be a pretty high lake up here. So I'll scroll in here. Not great image quality still, but not bad. So this sort of looks like a spot, maybe? Could be kind of a cool spot on this little lake down here. Devil's Lake. Okay, Lava Flow Campground is over there. Oh, Davis Lake. Not Devil's Lake. Okay. So when you're on actual Google Maps, the national forest roads will the more prominent ones will come up on the map. So you can kind of get an idea of like the road quality. Yeah, maybe we'll bookmark this one. Campsite on Lake Davis, or Davis Lake. Usually what I'll try to do is find a nice little trail and scroll down that one trail and try and like kind of see if there's campsites along that trail and bookmark them as I go. What we got over here? Hamner Butte. Might be kind of a cool place to check out if maybe there's a spot up top where you could just hang out. And see, sometimes the MVUM map does this where, because I guarantee you this road connects probably right through here, but for some reason it doesn't show that it connects. I'm not quite sure why it does that either. This is from 2016, so if you are using this method and you are using the MVUM maps, it's probably a good idea to go to the ranger station and get an updated map. I believe they have updated maps usually at the ranger stations. Okay, so I'm kind of just noodling around here. Let's think. Okay, so let's say maybe we do want to do Mount Hood, because I'm not sure how far we're going to be planning on driving this weekend. I have a goal in mind. I want to go fishing. I want to try and find a nice fishing hole. So I will type in fishing Mount Hood. Where can I fish at Mount Hood? There are a lot of great lakes up in Mount Hood National Forest. So, I know a bunch of the lakes already. So we may end up just go scrolling around over there in the cruiser and hitting some of the lakes. But I would also love to find a nice campsite on a river that we can maybe do some trout fishing on a river. So let's see if we can't find something. Let's see, Mount Hood National Forest fishing. I would like to stay on the east side, mostly because I have a few campsites over there in mind that I'd like to go to. So let's look in the Hood River Ranger District. We got East Fork Trail, Lost Lake Campground. Let's just click on East Fork Trail. This trail follows the west bank of the East Fork of the Hood River. Trail passes through a variety of mature timber. Fishing is accessible from various locations along the way. This trail can be used as part of a loop between Tamanawas Falls and then take Tamanawas Tie number 650B to Elk Meadows Trail and back to the East Meadow Trail for a round trip hike of 6 miles. Well, that sounds nice. So let's see here. East Fork Trail. Let's go type it into Gaia. East Fork Trail. East Fork Trail number 33. Is that the right one? Let's just go type in Elk Meadows on Gaia. Elk Meadows. Mount Hood National Forest. Boom. Okay. So let's say we're going to go fishing in this general area. It looks like maybe we'll be fishing the White River or this Clark Creek here. Yep. There it is. Elk Meadows Trail number 645. All right, so we've got our, let's say this is our general area that we're going to be exploring. So over here, we have got lots of potential stuff. So, maybe we could drive along this route and just check out and see if there are some good campsites. So let's scroll in here. So sometimes I'll even go back over to iOverlander and I'll say, okay, I know I'm going to go somewhere over here. So this is, yep, here we go. Burnett Pass, open space in the woods. Let's take a look at this one. So, yeah, that's all right. I mean, nothing special. I'd like to find maybe something a little more scenic because my brother has never been to Oregon. So they say we got there with the Toyota Tacoma. It is strongly advised to have 4x4. Quiet place, nowhere near anything. All right, well, now I know that our scroll down Bennett Pass Road will be fruitful in some way. So what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll probably just bookmark this one as a backup spot over in Gaia. So I'll do that. There she is. All right, and then we'll do a little waypoint. We will copy the link and I'll put it in the notes. All right, so that's just a bit farther down past the road we were scrolling on. So let's keep scrolling down this road here. Oh, we got Badger Lake over here. That's even a potential, maybe a potential place to go do some fishing. Badger Lake Trailhead. Did Mount Hood National Forest website say anything about Badger Lake? Yeah, Badger Lake, Badger Creek Trail. Let's see what it has to say about the fish. Ah, wonderful. Rainbow trout. Perfect. Okay, so that's definitely a good thing. That's definitely what we're looking to catch. I really wanted to go do some trout fishing. There's almost certainly going to be some spots to camp somewhere along here. And sometimes this doesn't really result in any fruitful discoveries, because sometimes it's like this where it's just super thick forest and you can't really see anything. Yeah, again, our map layer on Gaia isn't the highest quality. I'm more looking for like very, very obvious places that could be potential campsites. So like you see this little tiny track here. Let's zoom out and see if we can see it. Sometimes that's like a little offshoot trail that goes down to a campsite. But we are super close to Badger Lake Campground, so we probably would not even be able to camp there. So let's go back up to our road over here. As it stands right now, we've got Badger Lake as a potential fishing spot, and then over here on Clark Creek as a potential camping spot. So, you know, I'm down to camp sort of in this general vicinity, because I think the most likely thing that'll happen is we'll go out Friday, we'll camp Friday night, wake up early, go do some fishing, and then head back home. So I'm not too worried about camping super far away. Ooh, we got some, this is all 4x4 tracks down here. So this might be kind of fun to go do. I do have to keep in mind the White River fire from last year. So here's the White River. Last year, a large portion of this caught on fire, which is very unfortunate. We will have to make sure that we're not doing anything within the burn area, because it's probably closed. So let's maybe continue to look on our Bennett Pass Road over here, because it looks like there is some potentially open spots. Oh, here we go. That looks potentially promising. Or that might even be a creek or a river, actually. Here we go. So you see how we've got this little track going through here? You can hardly see it. You know, if we zoom out here, we've got Mount Hood over here. So I'm thinking that this is on a ridge. So let's add us a little waypoint right here. And we'll say we'll check this one out. Potential campsite. All right, so that was a quick little glance into how I like to find campsites. So I hope you found that helpful. I know I kind of rambled along a little bit. Just to recap, kind of the easy way out is looking at iOverlander or freecampsites.net. Those are two great resources, especially if you're just looking to get out there. You know, if you're in a Prius, you know, I know a lot of folks have come over to our channel because we were doing a lot of stuff in the Prius. And, you know, in Mount Hood's instance, a lot of those roads are very well kept. They're not hard. They're not really requiring four-wheel drive or super high clearance. We did a ton of stuff in Mount Hood, and you know, if we ever felt too sketched out, we just turned around, which, you know, happened a few times, but there were certainly some obstacles that we navigated pretty well in the Prius. Again, iOverlander, freecampsites.net, probably the easiest way to do it. My preferred way to do it is to hop on Google Maps and scroll around for a little while and just see if I can manufacture some potential campsites that, you know, if we're going to be driving along trail or something, that I can just have Gaia open just to keep in mind when I'm driving, just to look at my GPS and say, okay, here's an upcoming potential campsite. So I hope you found that helpful. If you did, give us a like. We want to keep making these videos, so it'll help us out. I appreciate it if you give us a like. And consider subscribing to our channel, because we do all kinds of fun outdoor stuff, and I try to bring some helpful knowledge. You know, my little bits of knowledge about this stuff, I like to share it. So I will speak with you in the next video. I hope you enjoy your day or night or whatever it may be. Goodbye.